Number 3.
Yup, gone.
My highlights of my week.
This is specifically this case, one of my highlights. I'm coming in, I'm being like, I have no idea.
Yeah, for this case.
And I tried. I asked in the news, and this is what. Yeah. Hi, Linda. Good. Yeah. Something like. Nice.
Yeah, ready for snow.
Did you?
Where's the 80? Is it 80? Is it 90 there?
Let's be
Yeah.
Nice.
Chillier and northern.
local weather.
That's right.
I'm hoping we get some more brains in this thing. This is a doozy for me. Do you want me to go back to like Mickey Mouse? Is that
I like the case.
Michael didn't want to hear it. Well, see if we get a couple others to join. Michael, Cyrus, what's your
Solution is very simple. When you way to fail, 1,000 plus 1 way to say. Very cool.
hope?
Well, hedge funds are going to
100%.
We might be a low attendance night, huh?
Games, right? No football is over.
All right. You got so I got everybody's been here to do. We don't have to do any of like whatever pomp and circumstance video, and then I'm not going to stop screen sharing and just won't go through the case. All right. Yeah, so I haven't personally I'm interested I don't know. Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'm having a moment. uh, this one. Okay. Go.
High stakes business case. It's a Silverton Capital that's staring down its entire existence. The question is that this isn't just one problem. They're facing massive simultaneous. This is an unprecedented challenge. Now, to really get why this is such a big deal, this isn't something these guys are methodical. They're free of market chaos. Pretty much everyone, their track record is the dot-com bubble, safe through the 2008 financial crisis. And that makes this whole situation so before totally us to the absolute heart of the problem. The senior on the head. He said what terrified the interaction effects and spin out of control in ways nobody could predict. And it is commercial real estate. Temporary. It's permanent. What Silverton has invested are emptying out. So one view of these massive properties, then you've got the AI boom, big thing, right? But Silverton's analysts, it seems like the same in each other, learning from each other. It's like they're just money back and forth. So the big question, or is it just a bubble? Storm number 3. The gig economy means income is all over the place. If you're a fund invested in things like problem, all your old data are useless. And to top it all off, the political down has dragged on for months. Political noise is now freezing up everything from mortgage applications to business permits. So you've got these 4 all hitting at once. It's figuring out what's actually going on here. Signals. And the core of their dilemma, luck, or all symptoms of something bigger. Economy works. That's the question. Each interpretation leads to a complete. So what did the leadership team do? Down to 4 distinct topics. Each one is a bet. Can't pick and choose. They have to go all in one. Okay. Option 1. The thinking here is that the real credit crisis, the whole financial system could just freeze up. Sell everything you can for everything to burn so you can see trade off right here. It is by far, if you're right, it protects. But what if that crisis never hit zero? The rest of the market just zooms past you, right? This strategy, every single month that being wrong gets bigger and bigger. And next up, we have positioning. This symptoms a much larger problem, economic demand. The core painful multi and make a mistake, This is a huge bet on the and you're a hero. One of the few fun, absolutely devastating. I'm trying to time it perfectly. Which brings us to the look. Every few, if this is the real,
Wow. um, you guys tell me. You guys tell me where you think we should take this. Yeah, go ahead. How can you calculate the cost of being wrong? I mean, you can't. I guess after the fact, you could calculate the cost of being wrong. I still don't know. I still don't understand how you can calculate the cost of being wrong, though. Right. I mean, so I mean, in the video it says, it says option number one is the safest option if you're right. Like, it's the safest if you're right. Uh, I don't know. Sorry, I'm. This is the first case that I've come to that I'm like, I feel like you got to diversify. Normally, I'm like option one, option three, but I just this feels like I mean this thing's written about, we kind of took current market conditions and I tried to write a case with some of the stuff we threw out last time. To me, this feels really true, and it's like, where do you put your, is gold a safe asset or a risk asset? I guess if you look at the last 6 weeks, who knows? Got it. That's interesting. So you're saying I mean, I wrote down real estate, autos, AI. I'm not. They may have mentioned other kind of investment areas, but you're kind of saying the areas where they've invested coincide with the risk areas, and therefore, like, if they get rid of those investment, like, whatever, it lowers their whatever. There's multiple ways to be smart, I guess. Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, I find that really interesting because the way I kind of, I mean, this in the 2 seconds that my brain has, whirled on that, you're almost I feel like you're suggesting de-risking by, not by diversifying, by actually, uh, yeah. How do you, on something like that, how do you get past the mindset of like, well, commercial real estate's at a lull and it's going to start roaring back? I mean, is that just, that's kind of the world view or whatever? Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. That is not how my brain works. I love that though. It sounds so smart. Like decup like yeah, like it's so obvious. I love it. I for the gig economy for me, I feel like is more. I mean, you're saying it's linked. I'm having this is a hard conversation to follow because there is a lot going on. Uh, Michael feels me. The gig economy to me is linked. I mean, it's linked to the commercial real estate and AI. Like I think the gig economy is the output of those. I think it's the result. It's actually a lag, like I don't know if it's a leading indicator or lagging indicator, but it's essentially the result of those two forces coming together and propelling people into the this is what the world looks like. And people are working in a gig economy. It's more efficient. We can hire and fire really easily. We can turn work into tasks, with AI. Gig economy doesn't need commercial real estate. That to me is just the trend, I guess. I'm not sure if I'm agreeing or disagreeing, by the way. Absolutely, Linda. I'd love to hear them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. It does. It does feel like, I mean, so if you say it's a hedge fund, and you're right, like a hedge, there's a risk profile, and like the people that are bought into the hedge fund are buying essentially into risks. The risk that they've put down. I think it like just Todd, you talking about the like ultimately they need to have a. It almost doesn't make. I mean, long term, they need to make money, I guess, or they need to make the right decisions. But in some respect, like they need to just have a strategy. And as long as they've got a strategy that makes sense, like they're going to get their investors to drag along and not have a too much fuss. And so I fall back to like what Todd is talking about personally, of like that makes sense to me, of saying like, hey, these are tied. If all of our investments are tied, we might as well only have one investment. Therefore, like we need to figure out how to separate these things, and that's why we're going to do this. And maybe we're wrong, but kind of the read of the tea leaves is that these things are tied. And I guess once you get there, then the next step is just like, okay, fine, I'm bought in. What do I do to actually untie kind of my portfolio, I guess. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Take care, Cyrus. No, I like that. My my brain goes to what can I invest in that isn't defense? Because that's everything you're saying is, or what the way where I think about it is, and maybe this might not be 5 year, maybe that's a shorter, maybe if I think out longer, I probably come up with other options, but I think it's very easy to run to say, defense, 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 uh, versus, other things, at least for me. Yeah. Have at it. Take care. All right. The real muscle. Michael, you said nothing. What do you got? Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's being afraid. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I was about to say you've kind of been in the gig economy your whole life. You invented it. It yeah, sure. No, the thing that you said, I mean, you're talking about these different musical eras. Well, eras, I'm gonna call them, and, like, how basically the paradigm shifted and, like, what was old isn't new anymore. Um, and, like, I do business has trends and it follows trends. My I for a long time, I've thought, everything's been moving to this self-serve model, right? No, there's no service provided by anything. And I keep thinking like, man, at some point people are going to revolt and this is going to shove back in the other way. And honestly, now at the end of at the end of this conversation, I'm like, no, what if actually it just continues to press? And what if what it looks like is no, everything is just self-serve now, including employment. And it's like, I don't know, figure it out, you know? And the tools and all this stuff become more, in some respect, like automated or something like that, where, now as an individual, maybe I can kind of prop up, a one person business in a manner that was impossible, 10 years ago or something like that. Sorry, Linda, I just wanted to. Yeah. Can, do you do you have an example on early it's adopters, but early adopters, the speed of adoption quickening? Yeah. Is it 20? Yeah. I so my my question was around speed of adoption. I think that's interesting. My sense is like I know I hear that. I I know like the internet has, when it comes to like digital products, it feels like the speed of distribution has gone up significantly. Like you can distribute something with a click of a button. Boom, I click made available and now it's available. Like that has never, that's a new phenomenon, whatever, in the last 30 years. I question like something like Chat GPT. I think it's easy to be like, oh, like it's got a billion users. And it's like, what, maybe what we need to do is like redefine what adoption means, because like I'm not paying anything for it. And what's comical to me is the more I like they're giving me more and more and more, and I'm just like, goss, cool. Like, at what point do you think I'm going to pay for any of this? Like, I'm very confused. But I almost no, right. I know. Hold on one second. My question is like, okay, so Microsoft created Excel, and there was Excel had an adoption curve, and I'm kind of like, is speed of adoption any fat? Like, is it has it actually increased, or is like however Microsoft Excel was adopted, is that on trend for AI services? I don't know. I don't know what the term adoption means, but when people brought in Excel, I think they started running their businesses on it. I don't know anybody that's running their businesses on AI. They're using it for marketing activities. Yeah, I think AI is a feature, not a product, and I think that's actually the problem. And you've got all these people. You've got all these people that have gone in and said this thing is it, and it's like, no, actually, it's just like a piece of it. And the problem is now, like, the economy's propped up on this, and there's no exit path. That's my view of the world. Yeah, that's kind of what they're looking for. That's kind of what they're looking for. Yeah. Yeah, I liked Todd. I mean, I thought Todd framed it pretty well, and I was kind of like, oh, I guess we're done here. uh, you know, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess they're trying to. It's a made up case scenario. Uh, let me let me I was let me shift gears here for a second. We don't have a ton of time, and I know like we're way we've covered a lot of areas not in this case, which is fine. Uh, I have one question, and maybe this is a selfish question. So we're saying, okay, cool. Option three, the transformative strategy. We're gonna go with okay. We're gonna pull our money out of one area and put it in the other. Todd suggested pulling it out of real estate. So I'll just commercial real estate. So I'll just run with that and say we're going to pull our money out of commercial real estate. Where are we putting it? What would you invest in right now? What sector? You don't need to give me a company. Where would you put your money that feels like a 5 year plan? You got any thoughts? Energy? That's interesting. Go to like yeah, like one of these like multi multi-area retailers that kind of is, I mean, I wonder, is that, you think that's a growth area or is that just a protect downside? Let's say, yeah. Michael, what would you put, where would you put your money? That's why you showed up today. You were hoping to get an answer. Yeah. Well, okay. So I said if we were getting out of commercial real estate, so like Todd said, sell commercial real estate because that's where we're going to go with the transformative strategy. So we're going to sell our real estate, and so then we got to buy something. What would you buy that you think has a that's got like a 5 year like plan that's got growth for the next 5 years? Anything that pops to your mind? So you're going from commercial real estate to residential real estate, huh? Interesting. Yeah, I, I sort of agree with that, but I'm gonna put a little different twist on it. I think I would invest in the gig economy. Like this case is set up that the gig economy is growing. Like I think that I need to go see if I can invest in Fiverr or something. I don't know what gig economy stocks I can invest in, but I don't know. That's at least that's aligned with what I think is going to happen. So I'm surprised I haven't ever thought to do that. No, I wouldn't be a buyer. I'd be a seller. Yeah, that I mean, I that Michael, that to me feels in line with the gig economy type stuff, where like you're instead of a company having its own R&D department, like have other little have 5-person teams that are their own R&D company, and essentially hire them, on an ad hoc basis. Michael's struggling tonight. That's all right. Um, we got it, Michael. It's yeah. All right. Was this one too tough? I know I didn't. I know that's why when Todd kind of was like, "This is how it is," it was like, "Oh yeah, like that, there you go." Like that sounded good. Yeah, take my money. Like, well, let's go. I mean, I'm surprised you don't think that's going to happen. Like, that's it's 100% probably going to happen. I mean, look at prediction markets. Like we're betting and gambling and chopping up everything. I know. You know, I've tried to write a case on something like this multiple times, and what I mean by I've got controlling distribution. That's probably what I will write a case on next is controlling distribution. I would say what I've tried to write a case on many times, and it's kind of failed, is trying to pose this moral versus making money like argument because I end up with like, look, I think defense is the right place to make money. I I don't want to put my money into defense. And that doesn't mean other people can't. It's just not what I want to do. Uh, but the point is like I understand about, I could put my money into gambling. I think those markets will grow. Like I do think that's the way things are going. The moral problem that I have is like, well, I don't really support those things. So in some respect, like I don't want to put my money there, even though I think it's going to do well. And I keep coming back to like, I kind of don't know where to put my money that actually aligns my morals with what I think will make money. It seems what's losing right now is morals. Morals are losing. And like I don't know what to do with that. It's a real problem that I personally have. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, then it's like, if you want to make money in this world, you got to, put your morals at the side or whatever. And it's like, yeah, or like I don't have to, and I can just do whatever I'm doing. Yeah. All right, we'll end on that high note. Yeah. Oh, Dolly said, invest in cat food. Invest in cat food. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Bye. All right.